Hello, beautiful friends. This is the Organizer Advisor here to help you enhance your happiness and transform your life. Welcome to the Daily Bloom. All right, grab your hydration beverage. Let's have a sip and a sit, and I'm going to share with you how we are going to bloom into balance with all of our petals designed to help us enhance our happiness and transform our life, one small step at a time. All right, beautiful friends, here is our blooming into balance framework for today. Let's go through our petals of how we're going to bloom our best. Let's start with our thought of the day. Order isn't about perfection, it's about creating a space for peace, health, and happiness to take root. Your peace, your health, and your happiness have a better chance of thriving in an orderly, calm environment that is soothing to your nervous system. And as we go through this process and do our daily blooming activities, we are creating a home in which our nervous system can truly relax, which helps us find peace, enhances our health, and is definitely at the root of our happiness. So let's talk about what we're going to do for our home caring, cleaning activities for today. We are working in the third bedroom. We are focusing on one wall in that room, and today's wall is the east wall. So everything on the east wall, this keeps it manageable. It keeps us from getting frustrated and overwhelmed. It keeps our nervous system calm because it's doable. Now, if you have a complicated east wall in your room, please break it down into a smaller step. Maybe just do one thing on that wall. If you have a great big storage device on that wall, maybe just tackle that today. Maybe just a couple of drawers. Modify this framework to meet your needs. But when I'm talking about cleaning a wall, I like to incorporate the Swedish death cleaning with the Japanese touching everything in your home. This gives me an opportunity to really deeply declutter. So anything that I touch, if it does not uplift my energy, it is gone. Why? Because the accumulation of diminished energy from a multitude of these items, it just takes your energy. You lose your motivation. Your nervous system is triggered every time you encounter those, and it accumulates into a very dysregulated nervous system. Ultimately, it creates a feeling of never being able to relax, especially in your home. So we want to create a space that soothes and supports our nervous system, and we're doing it one day at a time. So we're going to clean, organize, and declutter all the furniture, surfaces, and storage devices on that wall. Then also, we're going to start the cleaning process. We're going to dust. We're going to clean the reflective surfaces so that they reflect a bright, shiny, clean surface. That also is uplifting instead of diminishing. Cleaning the woodwork and the flooring, let's make sure we kind of just dust those baseboards and clean the flooring underneath any storage device that you can. And then if you encounter an item that does not jive with your vibe anymore, that is an item that can be sold or donated. All right, let's move to the daily documents. This is my favorite part. We're going to start filing the piles today. Now, so I know we all have piles of paperwork. We have our favorite places to put them. Top of the refrigerator, dining room table, top of the dresser in the bedroom, or it's in the spare bedroom, tossed on the floor, or just accumulated in boxes. So what we're going to do is pick a pile, pick a box, wherever you want to start. We're going to categorize the documents. Now, if that's too overwhelming, just take a handful, because ultimately we're just going to file 10 of those documents. So we're going to get into the process of filing 10 daily documents. Eventually, even after just 30 days, that's 300 documents. That's going to pretty much file whatever piles you have. Now, if you encounter items that you don't already have a storage file system for, a file folder, or it doesn't go in your grab and go binder, it's not in your important document binder, it's not in your professional portfolio, and it's not in your instruction manual accordion file, it's not in your couponing accordion files, then you can go ahead and create a new category and store those in your filing system. Now, on to our self-nourishing routines. Self-care is healthcare, so we want to engage in a self-nurturing routine every single day. Facial, mani-pedi, skincare, dry brushing, cupping, soothing soak in the tub, dental health, hair conditioning, whatever. Find something, pick one, and engage in that self-care routine today. Also, I suggest walking for 20 minutes after your largest meal. This is going to help stabilize your glucose, and after your largest meal, you get a huge glucose spike, and that can destabilize your blood sugar. So if you walk, that burns off the glucose in your blood right after that meal, and it's going to help you feel better. You're not going to get that sudden craving for sweets a little later. Breath work and meditation, stillness, and prayer, these help us keep our nervous system in our parasympathetic system, which is rest and digest, as opposed to feeling triggered and producing cortisol when we're in our sympathetic nervous system, which is fight or flight. Also, we want to make sure we're hydrating. This keeps our energy and momentum and alertness up throughout the day. Healthcare supplements, if you take them, this is just a gentle reminder. And then eat clean. We want to eat to nourish our body, not to soothe our nervous system. Also, as we wind down the day, some supported journaling, puzzles, word searches, drawing, or coloring are going to help us soothe that nervous system into the rest and digest phase so that we can transition into a sleep state more easily. So for our laundry and wardrobe, we have created our color-coordinated, calm, cohesive rainbow closet. We're on the last color today, which is white. So we're just going to gather all the white clothing and accessories. We're going to make sure the clothing fits and makes us feel fabulous. Otherwise, it goes. We're going to clean the accessories. We're going to make sure they're in good wearable condition, and then we're going to put them back in the closet all together so that we can find what we need when we need it, reduce that getting dressed stress, help us have that professional pulled together look, which is going to boost our self-confidence and self-esteem. Also, you can sell or donate any unwanted items for your accessories. You can clean them, moisturize them. If you have leather items, clean out those purses, check all the pockets and zippered pouches, make sure you have everything out of there that you need. Daily decluttering. Today we're going to work on umbrellas. So check for safety. Of course, I have a video on this, and I just actually updated this video, so I have some really good information. Check for safety. If you open that umbrella and it has broken tines, it could actually cause a severe injury to your eye. So we want to make sure that these umbrellas are safe to use. Clean the fabric. I have some great tips on that in the video, so check that out under Organize to Utilize Cleaning Your Umbrella. Create a dedicated and accessible storage space. You would not believe when I go into a client's house where we find umbrellas. They should be kind of by the door. So if you have a foyer closet or an umbrella stand like I do, put them by the door so that you can grab them on your way out. Hang them in or put them in your foyer closet if you have a storage space. But folks, they need to be by the door so that you can use them. Now, if you have travel umbrellas, you can put one in your vehicle, one in your business tote, or in your gym bag so that you always have some accessible. Let's end where we started with our thought of today. Order is not about perfection. It is about creating a place where peace, health, and happiness can take root. It's all about creating a space that is soothing and supportive of your nervous system, your relationships, a place called home. Because that's what home is. And today, let's bloom beautifully and create a well-loved home and a well-loved life. I'm the Organizer Advisor. I look forward to seeing you again as we bloom into balance together.